Why the cannibalism? It made me feel like they were a permanent part of me. Besides the just mere curiosity of what it would be like, it made them feel that they were a part of me, and it gave me a sexual satisfaction to do that.
I'll eat less meat.
So you'll rape and kill less, like Jeffrey Dahmer?
You really think he's right in his mind? What the fuck you think's going through it when he's writing his rhyme? You about to journey into the mind of a psychopath killer, blood spiller.
Okay, I'll lay down the scenario for you first, alright?
Yeah.
So Jeffrey Dahmer, he's a famous serial killer. He used to seduce his homosexual victims. He would drug them, right? And then after that, he would dismember their bodies and go out and pick up these gay guys, and he'd bring them back to his house, and then he would like seduce them, right? And then he would give them like drugs and put them to sleep. He'd chop them up, put them in his freezer, right? And then he'd eat their body, parts of them in his freezer, and then he'd eat them. And then he would eat them afterwards, right?
No way. It's a sick.
All right, eat their bodies.
Oh my god, I've actually
You've heard of it?
Yeah, I was watching YouTube.
Okay.
The bars, the gay bars, buying sleeping pills and using it on various guys in the bath clubs. It just escalated slowly but surely.
Do you think that's wrong? Or? Okay, so what part of that is wrong?
Well, the murder.
The murder.
That's not right.
What part of that is morally wrong to you?
What, the choice? The person didn't have any option in any of that, and then getting murdered.
So the victim had no choice.
Yep.
You just can't just take a human person, like chop them up for no reason, basically.
They had no choice, you mean?
You they have basically had no choice. You know what I mean? Like,
It's pretty sick to eat them as well. So
It's sick to eat
the human.
an innocent victim.
Yeah.
Okay. So what part of what he did do you think is wrong?
Well, taking gay people,
Yeah.
Eating them.
Eating them?
freezing them up and chopping them up.
What about that scenario isn't right?
Pretty much the whole thing.
The whole thing?
Yeah, it's just, well, it's not right really, and I think if you don't understand that, you should definitely have another think.
Really? So why?
Because you can't drug people and then kill them and then eat them.
Well, I'm assuming the gay people didn't do anything to him.
No.
Did they do something?
They didn't do nothing wrong to him.
they should have like a right into life. Like, everyone has a right in life.
Everyone has a right to life?
Yeah.
For others, Jeffrey boiled the skin off their bones on the stove. A sweet, bitter odor of death began to infest the building, and many tenants traced the smells straight to Dahmer's door.
Okay, but I could argue that he treated his victims very nicely and they didn't feel a thing. So why is that inhumane?
You could argue that.
Well, I guess that's not inhumane, technically, then, is it? Yeah.
It's not. But they didn't suffer at all. So they were treated nicely before they died and treated kindly. So why is that inhumane?
I don't think it is inhumane.
Like, they were treated really nicely before they died, and they didn't go to waste. He ate their bodies too. They tasted good.
Still morally wrong, you can't do that.
Even if they taste good?
Yeah.
They didn't feel a thing. Is that still wrong?
Yes.
You wouldn't want that done to you?
Yes, I don't want that to.
No?
I think it would be, yeah.
It is inhumane. Okay.
Oh, inhumane, I'm guessing. Well, I don't know.
Well, I would say, would you like that treatment yourself? That's how you...
I wouldn't appreciate it.
You going to be murdered.
Why?
I'd like to do it.
Because I'd be dead.
So taking someone's life is inhumane?
You could, yeah.
But he ate them afterwards, so they're not going to waste.
They're not going to waste.
But I would argue to you that they didn't suffer before they died, that he treated them really nicely.
It doesn't matter, they didn't want to die, did they?
So they didn't have a choice?
Yeah.
Okay, but they taste nice.
Doesn't matter, you don't eat people.
They were his food.
No, they weren't.
Jeff never bought no groceries. So what could he have been cooking that smelled like chitlins? Chitlins have a very peculiar, nasty odor to them, you know.
What's the difference between how he treated his victims to, say, how we treat animals in the meat and dairy industry?
Probably not much difference.
No, not really.
Maybe the animals suffer more in the meat and dairy industry?
Probably, yeah.
Okay.
Like they feel more pain, I guess.
I guess there's not much difference, to be honest. I think obviously there's a lot of money in it, so they're gonna keep doing it. But I guess it is pretty mean what they do. So
what's the difference between how he treated his victims and, say, how the meat and dairy industry treat animals, for instance?
I actually can't argue with that. I think I'm not the right person to ask.
You don't eat animals?
I do.
Oh, see.
But I don't eat people.
Feelings of violence, it was a compulsion. It became a compulsion.
Well, their food that we eat.
Okay, their food.
Yeah, and cutting up people and eating them isn't like.
But he ate them. They were his food.
Oh, that's.
But like, so why is it? What's the difference? Do you eat meat, dairy, and eggs?
I do.
Okay.
I do.
Yeah.
How is it different? Is that the question?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
I would say that what we put animals through is morally wrong as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
On the same level as what Jeffrey Dahmer was doing.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay, so that would mean you guys don't eat meat.
No, that's not. I do eat meat, so.
There is a difference. Like, there's a big difference, like, basically.
What is it?
The difference, like, it's a human body, basically, and all that. And eating animals, like, it's not right and all that. We both do it, like humans.
You just said that we have a right to life, and so everyone should have a right to life, or just humans?
Everyone should have a right. Even like the gays, lesbians, everyone should have a right.
What about animals? They don't have a choice?
They have a right. Don't blame me. Well, everyone has a right, no matter what.
What difference does a cow have to say a human to its right to life?
You know, I can't answer that because there's no argument except for the fact that, well, there's no argument. But yeah, no, you've stumped me, man.
Even dogs and cats, or is it okay to kill dogs and cats?
No, it's not right.
Okay.
Right, it's animal cruelty.
It's animal cruelty to kill and eat animals?
Yeah, yeah.
All right, so that means you're all vegans now?
Yeah. No.
But you understand that it's wrong, it's against your own morals that you've just stated?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Do you feel the animals suffer more in the meat and dairy industry than, say, Jeffrey Dahmer's victims?
I'm not sure. I mean, I haven't really seen it firsthand, but they could, yeah.
Okay. So you still eat animals?
I mean, I still do, but yeah, it makes you think about it, I guess.
Makes you think that you feel like you're going against your morals. Like we stated at the start, you know, you feel like what Jeffrey Dahmer does is morally wrong, so you're going against your morals by eating meat?
I also, you know, like the way that they are killing meat now in slaughterhouses is wrong too.
Oh, so it's the way they're killed?
I don't know. So
Jeffrey Dahmer he was very kind to his victim.
Man. Now you've confused me.
Confused you or just enlighten you? Yeah. Do you think it's okay, morally right?
It's a good question. I'm not really sure. Like, I think it isn't really that right, but people still do it anyway because they don't think about it.
Just because before you said that you thought what Jeffrey Dahmer did wasn't right and inhumane,
yeah.
so.
Yeah, for sure. I know. Something to think about.
Something to think about. All right.
I don't know. You've definitely given me something to think about.
Is it going against your everything you've been sort of taught and programmed to believe?
Yeah. Yeah. It's just a hard thing to you've stumped me. Put it that way.
So basically, a lot of humans act against their morals by buying these meat and dairy products because they're programmed to do so.
Yes.
You would agree that Jeffrey Dahmer was inhumane in his treatment of his victims, and even though he treated them nicely.
Is he inhumane?
Is it morally wrong to take someone's life?
You catch me saying yes?
Yeah,
yes, yes it is.
Okay.
It is.
So anything you're going to do to change that, or do you...
Probably like making people more aware of it, because I guess like everyone walking down here might not know about it.
Okay, so but I mean, like in your own day-to-day life, what could you do to make a difference?
I'm not sure, really. Maybe. I don't know if I'd stop eating meat, but it's kind of hard.
You wouldn't stop contributing to the suffering, no?
Not sure, yeah.
So, would you change any of your food choices in knowing this, or are you going to live inconsistent with your morals?
I'll eat less meat.
So you'll rape and kill less, like Jeffrey Dahmer? Do you understand supply and demand?
No.
So you buy a product, you support an industry that does that to animals. So by buying meat, dairy, eggs, you support animal cruelty. Do you know that?
Whoever kills an animal, that's the guy who wants to do it. I mean, like, I want to do it because I don't want to kill
it. But you pay someone to by buying these products.
But animals,
your money goes to them. You support that industry. Do you understand that? Like, when you buy that product, you pay the worker to do that to the animal. Is that changing your mind about things?
Yeah, a little bit.
Making me think a lot more.
It's making you think about your food choices and how they affect an innocent victim?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't rape and kill.
No, but let's just say Jeffrey Dahmer would kill less. Would that make it okay if he just one victim a week?
No, that wouldn't make it okay because he wasn't, you know, he's not, well, I don't know. It's a different thing, man. You're throwing two different things at me.
You can make a difference by what you put in your mouth. You got to remember that animal screamed and suffered before you put it in that sandwich in your mouth. That's this, and you're ingesting that into your body, that suffering and that fear. How do you think you're going to turn out? You wonder why people get cancer and shit, bro. What's different?
Well, humans have been eating meat and animals for how many years? How many centuries?
So we've been dropping bombs on countries and killing people in wars.
Two different extremes here.
How is it different?
Well,
it's both of them are morally wrong.
Because you and I were both brought up to believe we could have, we could eat animals. Obviously, you've gone and changed that, and that's fine. But whether I do or not should stay my business. There
comes a point where a person has to be accountable for what he's done. Can't go around making excuses, blaming other people or other things. So I alone am the one who's responsible for what's happened.
So it's your choice to do that?
Well, yeah, because I'm in the mood for a hamburger right now.
Dead body burger?
Not a human burger, hamburger.
Animals don't have a choice, do they?
Sure.
So your choice takes away the animal's choice?
Yeah, basically.
The only motive that there ever was to completely control a person that I found physically attractive, and keep them with me as long as possible, even if it meant just keeping apart.
Thanks a lot, guys, but we can all admit that eating meat is wrong.
Yeah, basically.
I don't know. It tastes good.
It tastes good. So did that human that Jeffrey Dahmer ate too.
But the blood loss, Red Cross couldn't help your dead boss. Cut his head off, brutal, sadistic, the only way I'll be remembered if they're undismembered.
I just wanted to have the person under my complete control, not having to consider their wishes, being able to keep them there as long as I wanted.
You step into me with a weapon, you'll be repping your click in a box. The most sadistic, you think not?
Okay, but they taste nice.
Doesn't matter, you don't eat people.
They were his food.
No, they weren't.
All I know is that I wanted to see what the insides of these animals looked like. I